Good day. Thank you, Boomy. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much for taking those introductions. And again, we always love those Empower Me Now moments. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a webinar that you want to make sure that you've got all your teammates on. So if you've got teammates, you might want to hit the Skype rooms, you might want to hit Facebook, you might want to send out a tweet, text out, so on and so forth. And I don't want to take away any of his thunder, but many of us certainly know that as powerful as our revenue sharing compensation model is, as powerful as it is, empowering Joe and Susie Average to be able to earn on a daily basis, as well as obviously Joe and Susie Superstar able to not only build but keep larger teams because Joe and Susie Average are making money. This model has a level of magnified scrutiny, unfortunately, because there have been other companies that embraced this type model, maybe didn't quite do things just right, so on and so forth. And what I have been getting so much over the past few weeks is I want to make sure, T. Lamont, that I'm not putting my time, my effort, my energy into a company that's going to have a good, strong 12-month, 18-month, 24-month run, and then because I's weren't dotted, T's weren't crossed, it's all over. Okay? I've been getting that a lot. I've actually had people that were looking to join with us, and because of some of the issues with a company here just a few weeks ago that pulled out of the U.S. They said, you know, what about this revenue share model? I love it, but I love it, but I love it, but. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to cancel out the buts. Tonight we're going to cancel out the buts. You're going to see what Jubi has done, is doing, and will continue to do, so that we have a business that we can not only be proud of and excited about the income today, but that we can go to bed at night and go to bed with confidence to wake up to know that our company is going to be here tomorrow. That's more important to me, ladies and gentlemen, than whether or not we make a lot of money in a short period of time. I'm more interested in making sure we have a business that's going to be here for the long haul, because if we're here for the long haul, we'll all make a lot of money and help a lot of people. So with that being said, let's pitch things over to our president, our owner, J. Joshua Beisel, as he will begin to chronicle where we are, where we've come from, where we are, and what we're doing and already have in place to make sure that you can build a business that's going to be here for the long haul. Mr. President, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, T. Lamont. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, sir.
All right, so I'm going to tell you a little story, T. Lamont. I want to tell you a little story. About 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now, it's been about a little less than a month. I was on a phone call with a tremendous group of people. And I mean some real leaders in the industry, some people who really saw the vision of what we're doing here. The most important thing that we've done at JubiRev, JubiMax, is we have built a system that empowers Susie Average to become Sue Awesome, Joe Average to become Joe Awesome. And so I'm on the phone with these leaders, and they say, you know what, we love it, we love it, we love it, we're in, but we've got some concerns. We're concerned with what we see in the industry in terms of how people are using and abusing the revenue sharing model. And I said at that time, I tell you what, quit worrying about it and everything's fine. We've got a great system. We've got a great company. We've got a compliant model and not to worry about it. But here's the thing, T. Lamont. Most of the leaders on that call still did not fully engage. Why? Because they had concerns. And here's the thing. We know that people have concerns. And so one of the things that I talked about in an email several weeks ago is that we were going to be doing some really big things as a company to really help all of our members be confident that the work we're putting into this company is going to last for a very long time. I mean, what's the point in doing everything we've done if we're not going to be a company that is dedicated to longevity, right? And so that's when we started doing a little bit of research. And that's when some things happened that we're going to talk about here on today's call. But now that I have everybody's attention, I want to actually use your technique, T. Lamont, which you use and I love. It's called the build model. We'll talk more about that later, okay? But I really want to set the tone for this call that we've done two really exciting things that people can be very, very happy about. Number one is we are going to put your concerns of compliance aside. We have done the things that we need to do as a company, and we're going to talk about them here on this call, that are going to ensure we have the ability to go out and be a company that is here for the long haul. That's number one, really important, okay? The second thing that we've done is that we are at this really special place of growth where we can either just go at our current pace, which is good, or we can really all work together and step up the pace a little bit and push the momentum that we have a little bit more and turn this into the next big success story. Now, I don't need to name names. There's a lot of companies out there that have become great success stories in the past, and some of them are success stories here today, and we are successful. But I want us to have the opportunity to enjoy JubiRev, JubiMax as a truly epic landmark success. So in order to do that, we're going to be talking about some brand new bonuses and some brand new ways that you can go out and earn. Now, T. Lamont, let me ask you a question, and this is for all of you. Grab your questions box, folks. This is going to be an interactive call. How many of you would get excited if I could show you a way to put a $30,000 bonus on the table for particular rank advancements? How many of you say, you know what, I'm working this business part-time, but I'm really, really serious, and over the next 1 to 2 years, I'd really like to have an opportunity to build a team with a company that's going to be around for a long time, hit some rank advancements, and get a nice $30,000 bonus. Let me ask you a question, and this is for the leaders out there, but this is for everyone who wants to become a leader. Remember, folks, we're a company. What do? We teach, train, and inspire the next generation of leaders. That's what we're committed to doing. So what if we had a 6-figure bonus out there? Let me see if that would get you excited. How many of you out here on today's call would like to see a rank advancement bonus that was 6 figures? What about a $1 million rank advancement bonus? If you want to see a company that has the ability to attract globally the type of leadership, to bring the type of teams to JubiRev, JubiMax to help market the incredible products and services, the very unique things that make us special, then I knew that we would need to add some very serious rank advancement bonuses, really, really serious ones. And that's exactly what we're going to be able to do. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about, though, T. Lamont, is I want to talk about people's compliance concerns, okay? Because we know that they're real. And T. Lamont, I think you've been a part of other companies in the industry that had this type of revenue sharing model. And what happened with them, T. Lamont?
They're not here.
Okay. That's it.
No. This is important to know. Okay, this is important to know. Okay, one of them we did exceptionally well, and abruptly they were gone. Period. In the story, they were gone, and we still have yet to hear from anybody that was management or anybody that was really in the know as to why aren't you here? What happened? And then there was another company that I'm in the U.S. They simply said, we're leaving the U.S. They didn't have a conference call. They didn't have a webinar. You just went in your back office one day if you were in the U.S. and it said, you've been terminated. We're not going to do business in the U.S. at all. We're just going to do business outside the U.S. They're not here. Go on, Mr. President.
And that's what happened. Is about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, right after I got done with that conference call with some pretty big leaders, and right after I addressed their concerns and I explained to them how our compensation plan meets the compliance requirements to be a long-standing comp plan, that's exactly what happened. There was another company that was also a revenue sharing company, many very, very different in a lot of ways, but it was a revenue sharing company. And they not only did they leave the US, but here's what they did. They actually terminated all USA distributors. They simply terminated them. Now, I'm not here to talk about that event in itself, but I do want to talk about the impact of that event. The impact of that event is that big leaders and those of you who want to build long-term have concerns. At the end of the day, there are simply too many people who have concerns about the longevity, and confidence gets shaken. Now, Tilamont, you've been in this industry for a while, and you also understand sales and marketing. You understand that confidence is extremely, extremely important. It really is, okay? It is extremely important that people be confident, because if people are not confident, they don't share, and they don't take the actions to create growth. So this is what we decided to do. So I went to our attorneys and I said, and by the way, just to be clear, let's put a number up here. I retain, on behalf of JubiMax, 80% of the world's most renowned MLM attorneys, okay? So I have entire attorney firms on retainer. This is not a small thing. And normally I don't talk about that. I don't think I've ever talked about that on a call. But it's a very important part of our business. So I went to our attorney firms and I said, here's the situation. The landscape is changing, okay? The landscape is changing. Now we have companies who are literally saying, hey, we can no longer do revenue sharing in the US. What gives? Is it truthful? Is that correct? And here's the unequivocal answer that they've all told me. Very, very important, okay? Very, very important. They've all said the exact same thing. Revenue sharing is legal. It is legal, period. However, companies that have revenue sharing are under an increased level of scrutiny given the activities and actions of other people who have used revenue sharing models incorrectly. Fact. And when we have leaders, Dan, by the way, folks, this is not opinion, this is fact. I have leaders who have said, hey, listen, I know that we talked about bringing over a couple thousand people to Jubi, and we were ready to do that, but there's too many of our key leaders who are concerned about coming over. And so what happens is that we are simply in a space where in order to grow, we need to make some very, very important improvements to solidify our stance on compliance. Now, in order to do that, I want to make sure that everyone here on this call gets a quick 5-minute lesson on what is compliance. Why? Because I want all of you to be here. And I want you to be here for a very long time. Some of you were here just to make a couple of quick bucks and move on. You can certainly do that. Those of you that are wanting to be a serious entrepreneur, want to be here for the life of the company, let's just take 5 minutes. It might be boring, but I want you to take 5 minutes with me, maybe 6, and I want to teach you everything that I know, that I've learned, that we've been advised on in terms of compliance. It really comes down to 3 important metrics. Number 1 is the spirit of the compensation plan compliant with the laws? And when I say laws, we are, for the most part, talking about the most stringent laws. We are a global company. We work all over the world. But we are talking about the most stringent laws, which typically, but not always, are the U.S. laws, the USA laws, okay?
Mr. President, could you do me a favor?
Sure.
I want to address you, but I was also trying to address some of the questions that were coming in. I want to make sure I have this down completely. Is the spirit of the compensation plan, and what was the rest you said, sir?
Well, number 2, I haven't got to. Number 2 is really.
No, what's number 1? I'm sorry. No.
Oh, it's just
the spirit of the compensation plan
within the law.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what. Okay. So, okay. Thank you, sir.
Is the spirit of the compensation plan compliant? Is another way to say the same thing. Okay. That's number 1. That's the number 1 metric that you're going to apply. Number 2 is the company enforcing the rules and regulations to ensure that promoters are not over-promising, okay? Let me give you an example, Tilamont. Recently, there was an independent promoter of JubiRev, Jubi Max, who said some things that were definitely outside of compliance, and they put these things on their blog. The reality of it is that that impacts all of us. Now, as soon as that was brought to our attention, we reached out to the independent promoter and we said, hey, can't do that, got to take that down. Could you please take that down? We need to take that down now. Now, this was a very simple solution, T. Lamont, because the person said yes. And so clearly in that case, us as a company, we're enforcing the rules, okay? So we're enforcing the rules. Now, number 3, this is the third metric. Does the company enforce the spirit of their own compensation plan? Okay, so rules and regulations are one thing as it relates to not overcommitting things. So maybe we can, go back and redefine number 2 just a little bit more. No, in number 2, we want to make sure that none of our independent promoters are saying things like guaranteed, you will make millions of dollars, and we could go on and on. T. Lamont, you have 4 or 5 things that you always say on a regular basis there, right? You say, don't say this, don't say this.
Yeah, don't say this, don't say that. You don't say things like percentages. You're not going out and doing spreadsheets saying, hey, we're making this or that or what have you.
Right.
It's all based on revenue. It's based on revenue. Go on, Mr. President.
Correct. So that's what number 2 is. Number 3 is, does the company enforce the spirit of their own compensation plan? So in example, T. Lamont, if I were to say that if you do this and this and this, that you're going to make this, but then I allow you to make this and you've only done 2 of the 3 things, that's not enforcing the spirit of our own compensation plan. Okay? So these 3 things, so an example, if we go to our attorney tomorrow, T. Lamont, and we say, hey, is our comp plan compliant? The attorney's going to say, no, wait a minute, that's not the right question. The right question is your company currently in compliance? Okay? It's not whether the comp plan is compliant, it's whether or not your company is currently in compliance. And that's where these 3 things come up. Is the spirit of our current compensation plan within the law? Is the company enforcing rules and regulations to ensure independent promoters are not out over-promising and saying things to the public that aren't true? And number 3, does our company enforce the spirit of our own compensation plan? Okay? So these are really, really important things here. Now, let's talk about what we want to be able to do. When we looked at where we are as a company, here's what we have discovered, okay? When we look at where we are as a company, here's what we've discovered. We have a lot of independent promoters who have picked up on the big idea that we have as a company. There's several, but there's a couple of key ones that are relative to this particular webinar here tonight, folks. Okay, there's a lot of big ideas. One of the biggest ones is really 2 parts. One, that if you want a company to be able to grow, you've got to be able to have a system for the little guy, okay? I'm all about the little guy. I believe that if you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. I don't build comp plans for the leaders. I build comp plans for Susie Average to go out and get some results. I build compensation plans for Joe Average to become Joe Awesome. I build comp plans that are designed to help the little guy and the little girl go out and get customers, go out and grow their business. That's who I am, always has been, it's never changed. One of the biggest parts of that is the ability to go out and use the blend of internet marketing and network marketing that we call virtual sampling. The ability to go out and give a prospect the opportunity to try your products, experience a positive result before they have to make a buying decision. We talk about it on the calls. Hey, listen, what do you think is easier? Running an ad in the newspaper, putting in your phone number, getting 2 phone calls. You spend $500 on the ad in the newspaper, you get 2 phone calls. Both the people don't know you and they're skeptical and you're trying to sell them $100 a month worth of product. Does that sound easy? It's not easy. What do you think is better, that or going to people that you know and being able to say, hey, listen, if you'd like to be able to lose a little bit of weight, I'm so confident that my products and services are going to help you achieve that goal, that I'm willing to let you try them for free. In exchange, all I ask is that at the end of the month, you give me an honest testimonial. Honestly share with me the results that you've experienced with the product and consider buying the product from me month after month. That is a big idea. And we've given our independent promoters the opportunity to do this both in person and online. The first company to truly blend internet marketing and network marketing. In fact, Pro Marketing System is nearly ready to go. I think we have like 17 different versions of pages. It's a huge number. I stopped at 12, so it's somewhere more than 12, okay? So it's absolutely fantastic. That's the big idea. That's the purpose of JubiBucks. But let's look at, let's look at what is the goal. The goal is when you have JubiBucks to be able to go out and do virtual sampling. There has to be a level of, I don't want to necessarily use the word integrity, but effectively that's what it is, folks. There's got to be a level of integrity in the system to ensure that when you're giving away JubiBucks, that we're actually getting people to use the products and services. That's why I built this system, folks. And there's a lot of you, and I'm going to pick on Dave Kaneski. Dave and I are going to be doing the daily builder call here very soon. And for those of you that are super excited about some of the things that we're about to announce, in fact, there's really, really awesome things coming up here. But for those of you that are here on tonight's call and you say, you know what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to be able to build a real business, a real organization. I'd like to get a real check coming in. I'd like to get a real business full of happy customers and team members that are growing. Well, Dave Kaneski and I are going to be doing the daily builder call where every day all we talk about is not the big idea, not the presentation stuff I do in the normal webinars, but hey, Dave, what did you do today to actually go out and get samples in people's hands? Did you get a customer today? What did you do to do that? Hey, when you called this person and you asked them about their products and services, what did you say? Hey, Dave, if you were going to send an email follow-up to one of your prospects, what would it say? I mean, real on-the-ground type marketing training, right? That's what we want to be able to do. And so I'm going to pick on Dave because Dave and I are going to be the ones doing the daily builder call. But I go back and I look at Dave's account, and this is where we are today. Effective tonight.
Do you want the screen, Mr. President? Do you want the
screen?
No,
that's okay. That's okay. I want to. Here's what I want to do. I want to hold everybody's attention audio-wise, and then people are going to be able to log in and they're going to be able to see their account probably in about another hour and a half. Okay. So they're going to be able to do that in about an hour and a half. Now, here's the thing. If you have been out and if you have been using JubiBucks in their manner in which they were intended, and if you've been following up with those prospects, if you've been making sure that we're sampling the products and we're getting customers, then there's virtually no change. We're going to make a lot of additions. We're going to make it easier to earn. We're going to give you some really great rank advancements. We're going to make some adjustments in how we frame things so that people can go to bed at night and they can be confident that, hey, we're going to be here in the morning, no sudden surprises. We're building a company that is designed to be the next billion-dollar company that's going to be here for the next 10 years. That's what we're doing. For those of you that have not met that requirement of actually giving out JubiBucks, making sure that people are using JubiBucks, etc., you've got some work to do, and we're going to work with you to make sure that you personally are bringing your account into compliance. It sounds harsh for some of you. Don't mean it that way, but I got to call a spade a spade. Okay? So here's what's going to go live in about an hour and a half here tonight. In about an hour and a half tonight, you're going to log into your back office, and you're actually going to see a sign-up box that tells you how many Jubi points you have, and it's going to introduce the concept of quality score, okay? It's going to introduce the concept about quality score. Now, what is quality score? Quality score is a metric that is defined once you get in there. I don't want to go through the math here tonight. The quality score is a metric to give you an idea how well you are using your JubiBucks towards the ultimate goal of moving products and services into the marketplace and generating real customer volume. Simple, okay? Some of you are going to log in and you're going to see that based on your quality score, you are not qualified to earn on all of your Jubi points in tonight's daily leadership bonus. Now, here's the great news. You can fix it, and we're going to work with you to create the opportunity to do that. But here's the better news for all of us, is that this is the type of thing that we must do, that we are legally bound to do if we are going to be a company that is currently compliant. Period. Okay? Period. And for some of you, you're going to be frustrated. And here's the really cool part. Anyone that wants help, wants to be able to work to get their quality score up, wants to be able to make sure that their individual account is in full compliance and they have a good quality score, I have cleared my schedule for the next week to make sure that I am available. So a lot of you, in fact, Dave Koneski, poor Dave, I pick on Dave all the time. Dave Koneski's quality score is 19.48%. Dave Koneski's quality score is 19.48%. He's more than qualified to earn currently on all of his Jubi points, okay? More than qualified. You need a minimum qualification of 10%. If you don't have that minimum 10%, you're going to be able to earn on no more than what would bring your quality score to 10%. Again, nobody loses any points. Wanted just a couple of quick things here. Nobody loses any points, okay? Nobody loses anything, but you are responsible to honor the spirit of our current compensation plan. And so we've created a tool that is going to help you do that, okay? Now, no matter what happens, there's going to be a lot of you that go to bed tonight and you're going to be smiling from ear to ear. Some of you are going to go to bed tonight and you're going to be frustrated because you're going to be like, doggone it, man, I don't have my quality score where I need it to be. What do I do? We're going to be working with you on that, okay? Is it going to happen overnight? Probably not. Probably not going to be able to give many thousands of people all the answers they need in the next 24 hours, but I'm going to be right here, folks. If you have questions, let me know. I'm going to stay up. I can run on about 4 hours a day of sleep. We'll get this job done. We'll make sure that all of you have the opportunity to be where you need to be, to make sure that you are maximizing all of your potential here. And the best part is you're going to be able to sleep like a baby when we're done, because you're going to know that you and our company are currently in compliance. Simple as that. Now, some of you are going to be downright flustered, and there's already been a couple of people who are downright flustered, okay? And that's okay too. I'm going to make sure that if anybody's flustered, that it's very easy for them to reach out to me. The reality of it is there's really not that many changes, and most of them are positive. And some of you that are frustrated probably just need to just kind of take a look in the mirror. If you use the system the way it was supposed to be used, you're going to have a good result, bottom line. If you need to make some adjustments, I'm giving you the ability to do that. Now, I should note that a lot of other companies out there simply didn't do that. They just disappeared, okay?
Just disappeared. So again,
they disappeared.
Just went away. Didn't have a conference call, didn't have a webinar,
right?
Nothing. Gone.
Right.
So Mr. President, let me say this to you, because
sure.
This is important, okay? All right. This is extremely, extremely important, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, remember we started off our conversation talking about a company that was in the revenue sharing world. They were a big company. They grew huge. They were the biggest one out there. Many of the folks on the webinar know of that company. I was called in on December 2011 when they were talking about some things that their attorneys had said, you need to put this in place and put that in place and what have you. I was called in January 2011 saying, hey, we're going to start to implement this. And we know the field's not going to like it because the field doesn't like change. No matter if change is good, people don't like change. We're creatures of habit. And guess what that company didn't do, Mr. President? They didn't put in some of the things that they told us they were going to put in. They told us, prepare your teams that this is going to happen. We've got to modify some things, so on and so forth. Essentially, it was going to be some additional requirements. The compensation model wasn't necessarily being modified as much as it was additional requirements and so on and so forth. They never put those in. So people never had the opportunity to come on a webinar and say, hey, new requirement. Nobody never had that opportunity, Mr. President. And you know what happened? On August the 16th, it was gone. So and that's why I want to thank you, sir, that you are being a real leader and going to these attorneys and seeing where we are and making sure that we've got the spirit of the compensation plan within the law and that the company is enforcing it. And I will say this, Mr. President, when you told me about the quality score, I found out about it yesterday. And when I went in and I looked in my back office, I saw that I hadn't given away nearly as many Jubi bucks or have been used as what the spirit of the compensation plan really requires. So I will be the first at the Jubi altar asking for forgiveness. And you're telling me not only am I going to be forgiven, but I'm going to be able to get it right. Is that what I'm hearing, sir?
Not only are you going to be able to get it right, but let me tell you something, folks. The reality of it is that we all came here for a reason. We, for the most of us, hopefully didn't come here to try to make a couple of quick bucks and then move on. We all came here because we wanted to be part of an awesome community, and we wanted to be in at the ground floor of a company who's really doing big things out there. How many of you would just like to be able to say, hey, I was there when it all happened. I was there when this company did this. How many of you would like to be working with a group of people that are dedicated to marketing? One of the biggest challenges, folks, with network marketing is that nobody knows how to market. And I got to tell you something. That's the best part about what we do here at JubiRev, JubiMax. We have weight loss products that absolutely work. I have a lady who I know who I worked with in another company as a product user. Okay, this is a completely true, unscripted, unplanned story, T. Lamont. She worked with me in another company that I was in that sold weight loss products. One of the reasons why she quit is because that company had a 100% soy-based product, and she personally had a lot of health concerns, as do many other people, about soy-based weight loss programs. She had lost some weight, but she was afraid to continue to use the product. Eventually she quit. She gained the weight back. She's been very disappointed ever since. Out of the blue, about 3 weeks ago, she just hit me up on text. Hey, what are you doing? How's the weight loss thing going? I said, well, even better than you could imagine, because I've got this new product and blah, blah, blah. And she said, well, can I try it? And I was like, you read my mind. In fact, I'd love to have you try it. And the only thing I asked, T. Lamont, when I told her this, it was kind of funny. I said, the only thing I ask is when you try the product, just promise me that you come back in about 3 or 4 weeks. Let me know exactly what's happening. Let me know how you enjoy the product and consider buying it from me month after month. She said, okay. She's lost 1 inch already. And she was only using 1 shake a day. Now, for her, that's a big deal. She's really happy about it. It absolutely works. So for those of you how to actually go out and want to build a real business, you've got to have a company that understands how to market the products and services. That's what we have with the pro marketing system. That's what we have with the virtual sampling. It's absolutely fantastic. So the other thing that I want to make sure that we quickly talk about, congratulations, looks like we've got a couple of people wanting to start weighing in, talking about their quality score. I think we had one person in
Skype, Louise Cordova, saying she's at 28%.
Right.
Quality score, fantastic.
Right. So here's the thing. This will only impact the most people who have either focused on not using Jubi bucks, not using the system to its full potential, and those who have gone out and built. We've got a lot of really big leaders, T. Lamont, yourself, and several other really big leaders who are waking up going, oh my goodness, you know, I've been out building, I've been building a team, and does that count for something? Absolutely, because the real asset that all of you have here is your team. Your asset is your team, your understanding of how to use the system, and none of that gets changed at all. We just go forward now more empowered to be able to have a company that is compliant and ready to build. Now, I want to quickly talk about one more thing, and then let's talk about some really big things. One of these really big things that I want to talk about is CV. Okay, CV stands for customer volume. Okay, now here's the thing. A lot of you probably haven't spent a whole lot of time with our compensation plan. Okay, and that's okay, T. Lamont. I can tell you that just about every company I ever made any real money with in network marketing or in direct sales or in direct response marketing, I really didn't understand anything about their comp plan. Okay, so that's okay. But customer volume, CV equals customer volume, and we have a very very simple CV requirement, and depending on where you are in the compensation plan, it changes a little bit. But what it really comes down to is quite simply this. You must have within 60 days of the date that you started or the date that you started earning, which for some of you who joined in March is really going to be April 1, you must have a minimum amount of CV, which is customer volume. Why? Well, because that's the law in the U.S., and that's the U.S. law is looked at in creating the law for many other countries. And so it's the same in just about every company. You've got to have a certain amount of actual customer volume in order to go out and continue to earn. Very, very simple. Now, for those of you that have not yet met your customer volume requirements, not to worry. That's what Dave and I are going to be teaching you how to do in the Daily Builder Call. We're going to be teaching on the training. And some of you have already got it. A lot of you have already went back in and checked. You've already got it. No problem. Some of you are going to go into your back office and you're going to say, in a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the case may be, I need to have a little bit of customer volume. How do I do that? Well, obviously we've got the marketing systems in place. We've got JubiBucks. We've got different things, but we've also got a support system that's going to be there to help you. Our goal, if you are committed to building a successful business, is quite frankly to help you get the customer volume that you need to go out and be able to continue to earn and begin to build a business here. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Now, let's talk about a couple of more things, but first I just want to see, T. Lamont, if you have any quick questions.
I didn't know. Did you want me to post those CV requirements as they are? I didn't know if anything had changed with attorneys or not.
Not right now. Currently, we are going to make it easier. We're going to start defining some things, and we are going to make it easier. And in almost every case, we're actually going to be making it easier. I'm very excited about that part. But they can log in. They're going to be able to see that in about an hour. They're going to be able to log into their back office. They're going to see the CV requirements based on the current points that they have. And again, it's all based on our current comp plan. That doesn't change.
Okay.
All we're doing right now is enforcing the current spirit of our current comp plan. So I do want to, though, talk a little bit about some changes that we're going to be making into the daily leadership bonus, okay? We're going to be making some changes to the daily leadership bonus. I bet this is going to have everybody's attention, okay? Now, when I think that there was a couple of small calls that happened earlier today from those who were kind of in the know, and so all of a sudden, in the Skype rooms and in all of the different areas online, people are frustrated and they're concerned and they're worried. The reality of it is, change number one, folks, there's no change. The daily leadership bonus pays today. Okay? Daily leadership bonus pays tomorrow. Is there a possibility that at some point I fall asleep and I don't pay the daily leadership bonus for 4 or 5 hours? Absolutely, okay? There's a program backup that happens about 8 hours later or something. But the DOB pays. It pays tonight, that doesn't change. So some of the concerns that people have are, they're natural. I can certainly understand that if I were in their shoes, they might be concerned, hey, we've done all this work. What's going to happen now? Well, that's exactly why we're doing this. Pay close attention. For those of you who are concerned, here's the whole point of what we're doing, so you don't have to be concerned, okay? So don't be concerned about the changes that are there to keep you from being concerned. That just doesn't make any sense. Here's the thing, DOB pays. We are going to be making a change. We're going to be doing something a little different. I got to tell this story, T. Lamont. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Because this has got to be the most sad story I've ever heard in my life. Did you hear about the guy, T. Lamont, who had 900,000 points in another revenue sharing company?
Not only did I hear about the guy, but he's probably on the webinar, and he's going to be mad at me. I'm not going to say his name.
Okay, well,
It was
don't.
really old. It just went over 1 million. He had just gone over 1 million.
So
He had 1 million points with another company.
he had a
Go on.
million points with another company. He was never pulling out any e-cash. He was continually buying more bucks. Well, of course, that was a completely different company, but etc. His goal was to keep building points. And that's great. It's healthy to build points. Okay? It's healthy to build points. But here's the other thing. And there's two concerns here. One, in the spirit of maximizing our long-term compliance, our attorneys have addressed this. But me personally, I have a much bigger concern about this one personally. So if anyone has a question about this one, by all means, we're going to post my personal email here. We're going to post my accessibility over the next week before the webinar is over, and I'm more than happy to give out my phone number. And if anybody has any questions, they can ask me, because I'm making this decision, period. I'm going to pay out the DOB 100% in eCash. I want to be the only revenue sharing company in existence, maybe ever, that says if you earn here, you take it to the bank. If you earn here, you get paid, period. We're going to, so over the next few weeks, you will very simply, your back office, you may have your setting to 20% eCash, 40% eCash, 60% eCash. What will change is over the next few weeks, that will go away, not tonight, but over the next few weeks, that will go away, and you will begin being paid 100% in eCash. Now, T. Lamont, this does change the way those who are out focused on building their business, this does change the way they understand their business model. So for some people, whenever there's a change, and I'm one of them, by the way, T. Lamont, whenever there's a change, we go, wait a minute, what does this mean? This is taking something away. No, we're just changing. A lot of you have been really focused on building your points total, but we want to make sure that you are focused on building your points based on the actions you're taking to go out, get customers, build your business, sample the products, doing things that are going to build your business and ours. So we still want you to have a points culture, but I want you to get paid in real cash, period. Now that's my decision. My attorneys could go either way. In fact, one of my attorneys, T. Lamont, I have 6 attorney firms currently on retainer. It's retarded. It's just ridiculous. One of them, the strictest of all of them, actually said, you know what? You probably could continue to pay the daily leadership bonus, part in JubiBucks, part in eCash. But I don't want to. I'm done with that. So it's going to change, because the reward that you're getting, I want you to take it home with you. Cash it out, spend it, do something with it. Okay? So that is one of the big changes. Now, for the guy that's here on today's call, if he is, who had 1 million points in another company, here's the thing. He may never get to 1 million points with us. Maybe he only gets to 500,000 points, but he's going to be taking cash home every day. Okay? As long as he maintains his account, keeps it in good standing, keeps his actions and activities in compliance, he's going to continue to earn. He's going to get paid in eCash. So now, T. Lamont, those are the adjustments that we're making. Those are the improvements, the enhancements, the adjustments, whatever words we want to use for it. Is it positive? Is it negative? Well, here's the thing, folks. If something is changed and you are not going to get, and you're not going to be happy about change, then this is a negative, because these are changes. However, if you are here because you want to make money, you're here because you want to build a team, you're here because you want to promote quality products and services, you're here because you want to grow, you're here because you want to be inspired, taught, and trained how to become one of the next generational leaders, then these are going to be seen as positive enhancements and improvements. and really it's how you look at things that define what they are. Okay? So let's do this. Now, there's a couple of you that have made some comments in here that, hey, instead of pointing out Jubi points, we really should be talking about, praising people's quality score, praising people's rank advancements. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do all of the above. We're going to do all of the above. And, we got a couple of you out here, got a good question here. The question is, how are our points going to grow if we're not putting anything back in? Well, a couple of things. We don't want to look at that language. Here's what I want you to be putting back in. What I want you to be putting back in is the effort and the activity that are going to go out and get more customers, and I'm going to reward you with more points. Let me ask you a question. How many of you would like to be able to see a system where it's actually easier to get more points? How many of you would like to see a system that's easier to get more points? How many of you would like to see a system where it's easier to get paid? How many of you would like to see a simpler system? How many of you would like to know, hey, it's different, I don't like different, but you know what? I'm happy if I keep getting paid over and over and I know that the company is going to be here. That's it. That's what I told everyone from day one. If you're in, be all in. If you're not, move out of the way. Because we are more than just a company. We are a movement, and we are here to stay. Let me tell you something. And I see somebody saying, hey, I was skeptical earlier. That's okay. T. Lamont, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put my personal email address up on the screen. Okay? I want you to put it up on the screen. It's joshb@myphoneroom.com. I didn't go create, folks, a special email address. I did not go create a special email address for this call, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, if your email to me says, hey, Josh, love you, Jubi's great, got a question on the brochure, when's it coming out? I'm going to be right up front with you. I will not be able to answer that email right away, but I will make sure if it takes me 2 weeks that I personally answer every email. There's my email, okay? T. Lamont, I want you to do something else. I want you to put my phone number up. Now, I'm going to tell you something, folks. You're going to have to leave a message. I don't always answer my phone because we have thousands of independent promoters, and I have many, many successful teams. So you can imagine these phone lines are going to go all over, but I still want everybody to understand that we are making a strong stand. This is the Jubi stand. This is it. There's my phone number. It's 602-686-7218. And I do get text messages. If you don't hear back, you may have to resend. Again, there's a lot of people on this call, but those of you that are the most frustrated, concerned, unsure, I'm going to answer you first because I want everybody to understand that if you'll take a quick, calm minute and look at this, I'd be surprised if you weren't blown away. In fact, I bet 99% of the people in this company are going to be fired up and excited about what we've put together. And not only that, I bet you there's 100,000 distributors out there who are going to now be in a position where they would join Jubi, whereas before they were saying they would not because they had too many concerns. Okay? Simple as that. Okay? Bottom line. Now, here's the other thing. Now, this is not a company address, but if anybody has any issues, any of any kind, and they would like to either visit with me or they would like to reach me, I'm going to put my address on here. It's 49 South Sycamore. This is my personal working address. It's 49 South Sycamore Street, Suite 2, Mesa, Arizona, 85202. And if anybody would like to have any mail correspondence with me, there it is, folks. Now, why am I doing that? Because I want you to understand that if you don't understand something that you see, you may want to think twice before you get upset about it. Because what we've put together, and I'm going to just say this, write this right underneath that, just to give me 2 spaces, and I want you to put this right there. I believe our compensation plan will actually have one of the industry's highest payouts ever, with the little guy and the little girl in mind. And and by the way, I'm going to tell you something. Most people don't know this, T. Lamont, but the people who write comp plans are called comp plan consultants. But let me tell you, it's not the attorneys that write comp plans. It's comp plan consultants. Now, I hope that none of them are out on this call because this is going to be awkward. I have 2 different compensation plan consultant teams on retainer, okay, to make sure that when we put together the new ranks and the new rank advancements, that everything is in place to ensure a really exciting, smooth, and attainable set of growth awards, recognition, and bonuses. Okay, folks, this is going to be huge. Bottom line is, this is going to be, in my opinion, the next big thing. Why? Because we have many big ideas here. We have the first true blend of internet marketing and network marketing. We have an online e-commerce solution that sells products and services that are actually in demand, okay, which is fantastic. Okay, I call them net zero consumables. You don't have to go out and sell a healthy juice nobody was ever buying. By the way, folks, anybody out here on today's call heard the little secret that we have Jubi Max Platinum coffee that should be here in late June. How many of you would like to be able to help market the world's best tasting healthy coffee? How many of you would like to have an opportunity to market the world's best tasting weight loss coffee? How many of you would like to have the opportunity to market the world's best tasting high energy coffee? Okay. How many of you would like to actually have an opportunity to get paid to let people try the world's best tasting healthy coffee line for free? How many of you would like to have an opportunity to actually work with a company who is going to do what they say they're going to do? Bottom line is this, folks. 98, 99% of you ought to be standing up and applauding and excited right now, because I don't want to ever have to answer the question again, is your company currently compliant? Because the answer is going to be yes. And that's my job, is to give all of you a company that's going to last and last and last. Is it going to be easy? Not always. Not always. Are you going to get rich quick? Probably not. Is it going to be tougher than you feel right now? Absolutely. Are you going to be frustrated at times? Yes. But the reality of it is, anything worth having requires effort. It requires that you sharpen your skill set. It requires that you work with a team, in my opinion. And that's what we have here. Not to mention the fact that our products and services are awesome. I get testimonials on all the time. Another lady that I brought aboard just because, I talk about Susie Average and turning her into Susie Awesome. I brought in a lady who actually inspired me to build this style compensation plan. She's here. And I'm going to just quote you what she said. I sure hope that if she hears me, she'll forgive me. Here's what she said to him. She said, Josh, I have no clue half the time what you're talking about. She said, but I did lose 7 pounds. And I did tell my neighbor. And I said, you done great. You done great. True story. She's part of the company. She's an independent promoter. I've got the all caps Facebook to prove it. I love her to death. She is just a joy. She said, I don't understand half of what you're saying to me, but I've lost 7 pounds, and I told my neighbor about it. Okay? This is it. Now, a couple of quick things here. I really want to end the call. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of questions. We need to talk about when we're going to be available, T. Lamont. And so you want to be thinking about that. But I want to, while you're thinking about that, putting that up there, I want to go ahead and I want to quickly talk about the vision of where I see us going. Number one, I've always believed, folks, that JubiRev, JubiMax is a company that's very special. The first company to truly blend internet marketing with network marketing. A company whose goal is to empower the little guy, the little girl, with a real marketing system to help them do what all entrepreneurs are charged to do. You have to go out and get customers. Well, it's too difficult in today's fractured marketing environment to expect that people are going to be able to effectively run ads in the local newspaper and sell people $100 a month, product purchase orders based on maybe a healthy juice that nobody was purchasing anyway. That business model has failed. It barely worked before. It certainly doesn't work today. This is 2013. You need something different. You need quality products and services that are already being purchased in the marketplace at the price point they're being offered, and you need a system to go out and get people to try the products so that the products can speak for you, so that the products don't have to convince people of what you're saying. They just simply have to convince people of the result and the enjoyment that they bring. That's what we have. In addition to those things, here's what we want to do. We want to have some really exciting rank advancement bonuses. Those of you that are already here, you may say, hey, why do I need that? I'm already happy. Okay, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's a lot of leaders in this industry who are currently marketing old school home-based businesses that still want you to sell $100 a month worth of juice to your friends and family that they weren't buying anyway. And they will have a much better chance of being excited to come over here if they can see some really big rank advancement bonuses. So some of you are like, hey, I didn't need a rank advancement bonus. Why are we taking up time? Really? Well, if you're out team building, we need that. We're still a revenue sharing company, so maybe you're not going after those people, but you know what? T. Lamont needs to. I need to. There's a lot of big leaders I get on the call with, and I need to get them engaged. They need rank advancement bonuses. When they come over, they bring their team. Their team goes out and they get customers. That creates revenue. We share revenue. This is a win-win. So even if you look at rank advancements and you say, what does that mean to me? Well, we're a revenue sharing company. It means everything. Okay? It's huge. Very important. Infinity bonuses. How many of you are excited about the Jubi Suite? How many of you are starting to kind of get the Jubi Suite? Again, folks, I had somebody say the other day, man, aren't we done yet? And I said, you've been working companies where your average life cycle with that company is about, what, 3 months? Because they're in business for 6? What are you talking about, folks? $1 billion company doesn't get started in 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I got people who are like, man, get to it. Why aren't we up and running yet? We are up and running, okay? But look, if right about now is the tail end of most of the companies you've been with, well, I can understand you in a hurry. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm not going fast enough, T. Lamont, but Jay Joshua's just getting started. Okay? I'm just getting started. I bought a new chair, T. Lamont. I bought a new chair. I got 5 screens on my desk, folks. I'm ready to go. How about you? Okay? Now, if you're really loving the Jubi Suite, then I want you to think about the concern I have about the Jubi Suite. And this has been nagging me for a long time. If somebody goes out and they really go to work and they really get that Jubi Suite building, man, there sure is a lot of volume that's happening outside their reach. Right? And some of you are like, huh? That's okay. You'll get there. I want you to get there. I want you to experience that. That means you're making a little bit of money. You get to that point where you get somebody placed on your 6th or 7th or 8th level, and then they start bringing some people in, and eventually you see people that are down below your 8th level and you can't get paid on them. Boy, that's frustrating. Gotta be frustrating, right? So what I said was, we need an infinity bonus. Gotta do it. Other companies have an infinity bonus. How come I don't have one? Folks, Jay Joshua's not the kind of guy that's going to go around town being the only company on the planet without a really good infinity bonus, okay? So we are adding in an infinity bonus. Really important. Why? So that people can focus on building, people can focus on customer acquisition, and they don't have to worry about necessarily, oops, did that person get on my 9th level? You know, T. Lamont, when we did our Jubi Suite training, we spent probably 20 minutes of each of those calls feeling sorry for the guy who ended up placing you somewhere where you ended up getting placed below their 8 levels. Guess what? 20 minutes, 2 calls? I don't want to hear it anymore. So to that guy, you get an infinity bonus. You got to qualify to earn it. Get qualified and enjoy. Okay? Now, here's the next thing I wanted to be able to do. I wanted to be able to make sure that people could really see the Jubi Suite as the powerhouse compensation tool that it is. Number one, it's a regulator's dream, because the Jubi Suite, which already powers half our comp plan or more, is a uni level. Does it have very nice, incentives for people to take fast action and do this? And is it customizable? And does it have all these bells and whistles? Yep. But at the end of the day, most regulators are not network marketers. They're not as excited about the bells and whistles as we all are. But here's what they say. Yep, you got you a uni level. Yes, we do. Fantastic. Been around for over 50 years. But here's the really cool thing. What if the uni level had some matching bonuses in there so that when people are actually placed on your 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th level, okay, and you're like, oh no, they're getting kind of close to the bottom, I'm not going to earn on a large part of their team, what if there were some percentage matching bonuses right there? What if there were some percentage matching bonuses on your 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th level? Okay? That's what we're working on right now. Obviously, you're not going to see this today. These improvements, these advancements, these enhancements, these are going to take several weeks to come and be added. But it's going to make a very powerful compensation plan, in my humble opinion, the most powerful compensation plan on the planet. And some of you have already written in and they said, oh my goodness, the comp plan's too complicated. Folks, let me tell you something. All compensation plans are too complicated. All you need to do is focus in on 1 or 2 big parts that you like and focus on that and go out and build your business. Let the company go ahead and pay you on the other ways. It's very simple. And yes, Justin, you are still going to be giving out JubiBucks. Absolutely. Oh yeah, folks, you will absolutely continue to go out and use JubiBucks to virtually sample. You will absolutely continue to do that, and you will absolutely continue to earn Jubi points. Not making any changes there, folks. Okay? Now, got a couple more things here. One of the things that we want to be able to do, Tilamon, is we want to be able to set proper expectations about our daily leadership bonus. We want to set proper expectations. One of the things that the regulators have said, one of the things that our attorneys, of which we have, I will say just enough in respect for all of them, but we certainly do have a lot of them. One of the things that I will say is that we want to make sure that people understand what the DLB is. And to that end, the biggest change that I'm making immediately is that the daily leadership bonus is going to pay in eCash. Okay? It's going to be absolutely paying in eCash. There are those of you out there, and if you are this person or that person, you will know I'm speaking to you. There are those of you that have come from other revenue sharing companies. And I'm happy that you're here. But in part, in coming here, you have carried over a culture which we need to abandon. The culture of revenue sharing and some of its parts needs to go away. It's time to be over. This is not an investment. It never has been. And for those of you that might argue it was in another company, they're not here, are they? So again, leave it at the door. No disrespect intended to a lot of well-meaning people, but the old revenue sharing mentality or culture, leave it at the door. That is not the Jubi way. Let me tell you what is brilliant about the revenue sharing model. And for those of you who really understand it, and some of you probably this call is a little tedious. We're going to make sure we have a really fun call next Monday night, okay? This is, of course, Tuesday because of the holiday yesterday. But we'll make sure our next company update call is more fun. But for those of you that are really understanding this, I want you to understand that there's 2 sides of the revenue sharing culture. The one side of the revenue sharing culture is the investment side. And you need to leave that at the door. I don't want any part of that. Go if that's your thing, you got to take that somewhere else. I don't want anything to do with that. Let me tell you why I chose revenue sharing. Because I believe in revenue sharing. And I got to tell you, I believe that what we're doing here as a company is we're fighting the good fight. I believe that revenue sharing means this. It means that Joe Average and Susie Average have an opportunity to get started and see some results. You don't have to be a power recruiter. You don't have to recruit anybody. You can actually get started. You can sample your way to a couple of customers and earn. You can get started. You can start giving out samples and start earning right away. You can start getting points, and you can watch those points earn, and they earn in e-cash. That's the good part, because it lets the new person actually see some quick results for their efforts. And let me tell you, if you want to understand something that you really want to understand something about human behavior, you need to understand that most people don't have the tolerance. Do you know what most people would do, T. Lamont, when everyone else in revenue sharing has gone away and big leaders won't come over because they're concerned about compliance, and people say, oh, you're not going to be able to do that, it might as well be over. Do you know what most people do? Most people quit, or they terminate all their U.S. distributors. That's what newbies do. I'm just being honest, folks. Seasoned, experienced veterans and champions stay the course. But when you're out building a team, you can't expect your new person to do that. You can't go out and get Susie Average, get her started in the business, and then a month down the road, she ain't made a dime. You can't expect that, oh, she should be all fired up and excited about the business. Don't be foolish. That's not likely to happen. In our company, you can go out and get Susie. She can go out and start giving away products, services, letting people try it, sharing it. It's virtually no rejection that she has to face because she's letting people try the products. She can start watching her points total grow, and she can earn on the DLB. That allows her to see some movement. Now, does she have to make sure that she's maintaining quality score? Absolutely. Does she need to make sure that she's got customer volume? Absolutely, folks. It's a business. It's not a game. It's not a toy. It's a real thing. But you don't have your new person waiting a month to see something. That's why revenue sharing is important, because it shouldn't just be a compensation plan where the people at the top in the ivory tower are making all the money. And I'm telling you, when it's all done, I believe our compensation plan will have the highest payout, with the especially highest payout as it relates to the little guy and the little gal of any company on the planet in the home-based business arena or internet marketing arena. That's what I have challenged my team to do. Very, very simple. Okay? Now, a couple of other things here. So again, folks, those of you who have been expecting that the DLB is something other than what it is, that's going to change. Okay? And if you're here because you want to be a part of the next billion-dollar company, then that's your goal. That's my goal. Let's work together. Let's go forward. Simple as that. Okay? Now, talk about a couple of things here, T. Lamont. Quality score. Points have an expiration, folks. Points have an expiration. I'm not going to change your points expiration, but I am going to do something for you. Those of you who have a current quality score that allows you to earn on all or part of your points, this is an extra bonus for you. Those of you who do not have your quality score where it needs to be, here's the thing. I don't believe in taking anything away from anybody. It's not my style. So I'm going to give you 30 additional days company-wide to all current points. Simple. So that you can go out and get your quality score to where it will need to be. Okay? Very simple. You're going to have an additional 30 days of earning on your points. Okay? Why? Because I want to give you an opportunity to not panic tonight. Oh my goodness, my quality score is low. What do I do? How come I can't reach Jay Joshua at 11 o'clock at night? We got time here, folks. They're not going anywhere. Your points didn't go anywhere. Okay? You may not be earning on as many of them or all of them here tonight, but you're going to have time to get your quality score up. Now, here's where I want to actually take it up a notch. Okay? I want to take it up a notch. I want to actually create a system where everyone here on today's call and everyone that is a part of JubiRev, JubiMax can truly have an opportunity to build their business. I want to take our business a little faster. I want us to grow, okay? And so I want to let you know that we are working on a very special fast start bonus. We're not going to get into a lot of details here today, but we're going to work on a very, very, very special fast start bonus. And in order for me to share it, I'm going to ask everybody a simple question here. How many of you out here on today's call would like to have a fast start bonus that lets you earn $1,000 over and over? How many of you feel like it's worth getting up and going to work for $1,000? Okay? We have a fast start bonus that is going to allow you to go out and start building your team, customers or promoters or both, and get $1,000 commission over and over. Okay? Over and over and over and over and over. And we're going to have a system in addition to that that's going to let you go out and earn $10,000 bonuses. Again, all part of a very special fast start bonus that we're going to put together. Okay? Now, why is this important? Because, folks, I'm ready to grow this business. We're there. The shipping testimonials that have been coming in have been fantastic. We've got tracking coming in. We got so many things. We're going to be going through all of the different destinations that we work on, looking at pricing over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be lowering prices in some key areas over the next couple of weeks. We have everything in place right now to really, truly dig in, go out, and build and make this, without a doubt, the biggest possible success story that we can. We have exciting products on the way with coffee. We have some very exciting global-minded products and services. Real quick here, Tilamon, if you can. I know this is unexpected, but I really want to talk a little bit about our focuses here for just a quick moment. In the USA, in North America, we'll just say that, in North America, our strongest focal points as a company are going to be our physical delivery products. Coffee, weight loss, the cardio product. Oh my goodness, folks, it's absolutely incredible. Okay, and for some of you, really important. Okay, the beauty line. Okay, we have so many more. We'll talk more about that in other calls. But the one thing that we're starting to see is we're starting to see some global growth that's happening in a big, big, big way. And I want to really make a note here that here's what happens. Globally, can we send out, can we ship products and services? Can we ship products? Absolutely. Can we ship our coffee that's coming? Yes. Can we ship this? Yes. Here's the thing. Some of you leaders have the ability to grow so big in your area that our company is going to have to move physical offices there before we're going to be able to sustain the growth. So for our global members, I want to just quickly talk about this. Again, this will be available, but this is a real strong focus for a lot of our global members. Very, very important here, T. Lamont. We have what I call the trifecta. The trifecta is going to be Jubi Vacations, which is a travel membership. Okay, very important. We also have, in addition to the Jubi Vacations, we have a product that I'm going to be very excited to announce coming up very soon, which is called Jubi Mindset. How many of you understand that for a digital delivery product, the most consumable product on the planet would be what? It would be personal development. How many of you would like to really understand the way the mind needs to work to achieve massive and dramatic results? How many of you understand the importance of that? How many of you understand that if you want to grow in areas where shipping either takes too much time or too much money, you need a digital delivery suite of products? Okay? Well, the third one is going to be the Jubi Academy. And the Jubi Academy is going to be designed to teach people a wide variety of things. One of the strong sets of information that are going to be taught in the Jubi Academy is going to be internet marketing. Those of you that really want to succeed online. So this really means that we have one company, one vision, one mission, and the ability to serve the needs of the many with a digital delivery line primarily focused outside of the USA, and a physical product-based product line that is available globally but specifically focused in the USA. Okay? That is the vision of our company. That is what we're here to do. Now, I know that a lot of you are going to have questions. There's no doubt about it. And I'm going to tell you that I've made my phone line available. I've made my email address available. I've made my physical address available for anybody who might be concerned how these changes are going to impact them. But Lamont, the best way to jump in and get started is really going to be in a group environment so that we can just simply answer questions, okay, so that we can simply support and teach and train, because 99% of people are going to be ready to move forward and not focus on, well, wait a minute, what about this? Wait a minute, what about that? Again, I'm not knocking it. If you have serious questions, I'm all about serious. I'm like DeVry University, folks. I'm serious about success. I'm going to have to write them a check for that, but I had to say it, okay? So here's the thing. These are the webinars that we are going to put up. I believe there's one. Here we go. There we go. There's going to be a normally scheduled business briefing tomorrow, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That call will be repurposed to allow Lamont and myself to simply be here to answer questions, okay? Are we doing an extra call Wednesday night, or is that for Thursday, Lamont?
Yes, we're going to do an extra call Wednesday at 9 p.m. That's going to be on the JubiRevTraining.com. Okay. That still has to be updated, so that'll be updated as soon as the webinar is over.
Sure.
So essentially, other than that, Mr. President, what we'll do is we'll keep with our normal schedule that we have for income opportunity webinars. Only what we'd like to do is shift the focus, at least for this week, shift the focus of those income opportunity webinars towards our existing folks to make sure that everyone is clear on where we're headed, okay?
Absolutely. Now, and I believe there's a Friday one too. We'll do that.
Yes,
and
Friday
right.
at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Now, you know what we should probably do then is, just to round it all out, let's put up my Saturday call and the 2 Monday calls. The Monday morning call, or well, early afternoon call, will be the final one on these topics. The Monday evening webinar will be a regularly scheduled company update webinar, and we're going to move past the vast majority of these topics, although we may begin to talk about, in a big way, the new fast start bonuses. Okay? So if those of you that say, hey, what about this, what about that, what about this, folks, that's okay. I'm not making light of it. I am truly and sincerely dedicated to your success, and we're going to be here at all of these times that are listed right here on the screen. But the Monday evening webinar next week, we're moving on from these questions, and I want to talk about new business, because we are here to grow. Folks, let me remind you of something that is inherently true of a revenue sharing company. Guess what's got to happen, Lamont, if you want to make money? Got to have some revenue to share, okay? Gotcha. So we are definitely going to spend the next 4 or 5 days helping everybody understand quality score, understand some things. But come Monday, folks, bring an umbrella, because I'm about to make it rain. Because we're going to be talking Monday night, folks, seriously, about a fast start bonus that, if you can't get excited about it, if it isn't going to work for you, if it doesn't make you lose sleep, get up early, work late, want to sweat a little bit more to get out there and make some $1,000 fast start bonuses and some $10,000 fast start bonuses and put some serious cash on the kitchen table, then just please step to the left, because you're going to get run over. Because we're going to do this. Make no mistake about it, folks. There's only a couple of type of people in the entire planet. There's people who are always busy saying, oh, that can't happen. There's always people out there that are saying, I wonder what happened. And then there's people who just simply make it happen. I don't have to talk about it. I don't got to convince you of it. I don't need you to even like me necessarily, folks. but I'm here to get this job done. Real simple. Who's with me? Who's ready to plant the flag and say, this is it, we're making a stand? We want to build a successful, long-term, compliant company. If that means I got to work a little bit harder, I'm willing to do the work. Come on, folks, who's with me? Who's ready to go? Never seen it spelled like that, but I agree, okay? Very simple. If you're ready to go and build a long-term company, if you're ready to actually work with a company who's focused on generating customers, moving real products and services into the market, who wants to take care of its team, of its independent promoters, folks, I can call you independent promoters on paper all day long. But every one of you are part of my family. I get up, I do Jubi. I go to bed, I'm still doing Jubi. I wake up, I'm about to do Jubi, and I'm thinking about the Jubi I did while I was sleeping, okay? I'm all Jubi all the time. So, folks, if you're ready to go, I am very, very confident that we have put together the world's best team to not only help us become a company that is currently in compliance, but a company that's ready to go do big things. And the only thing left to ask is this: are you ready? If you are, get in, get all in, let's go do this thing, and let's continue to build the company we all came to build. So, T. Lamont, that's it. That's it. And by the way, I just want to quickly point out, T. Lamont, I did it in record time. I didn't even take a full 2 hours.
Are you, question, are you
Sure.
wanting to go to do any Q&A? And I certainly need to make
Sure.
a comment on something that you've done here. Ladies and gentlemen, August the 16th, 2012, major company in this industry, doors shut, never heard from management, ever. Never heard from anybody on the inside, ever. May 1st, 2013, a company in this industry, some of you know of that company, pulled out of the U.S. They didn't have a conference call. They didn't have a webinar. Their top leaders who were in the corporate headquarters just days before weren't even apprised that that company was going to pull out of the U.S., leave all their U.S. affiliates hanging, leave all of the international folks that maybe had U.S. people in their organization. That was going to cause a major downdraft in their incomes. Or maybe they had U.S. folks in their upline organization that were providing support. They just left. They just completely left. Just left. Let me tell you what our president just did. One, he went out and he hired more attorneys. We already had attorneys in place, went and hired more attorneys. Take a look at the compensation plan. Let's make sure that Luis Cardo can sleep well at night. Let's make sure that Bev in South Africa can sleep well at night. Let's make sure that Mr. Rich here in the U.S. can sleep well at night. And then he said, hey, listen, if you got concerns, he didn't say just come to a webinar. So here's my personal email address. Here's my phone. I've never seen an owner of a company do that. Here's my address. I'm not giving you my phone number. Mr. President, I'm not putting my phone number out there. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. Some people have it, but I'm not putting it out there. I'm not putting an address because I enjoy my private time with my family, so on and so forth. And I know if I do that, my phone will continue to ring. I'll never get it. Mr. President, I want to thank you for being a man of character, being a man of integrity, being a man that would stay the course and not take the easy route out like maybe other companies that just says, oh, forget the U.S. or more regulations, forget the U.S. But you said, no, we started something and we're not going to stop until we finish it. And to finish the job is to make sure that Joe and Susie Average can become Joe and Susie Awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, I know you don't know a lot about the new compensation enhancements. The President and I spent over 6 hours yesterday. I'm going to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think you'll ever find, in my 19 years in this industry, I don't think you're going to find a compensation plan that will address the needs of Joe and Susie Average and at the same time allow Joe and Susie Superstar, who are already in place, to make a lot of money and help a lot of people. So please pay attention to the webinars. These are the same webinars we normally have. The only difference is that we're going to put in the Wednesday 9 p.m. That's going to be at Jubi Rev training, which is the same link you're on tonight. Now, we have to go in and repopulate that, but that'll be repopulated once we finish the webinar. The other JubiRev webinars on Wednesday at 1, Thursday at 9, Friday at 1 are the regular ones that we have. Those times typically are really for our existing base of folks, just to make sure everybody's clear on quality score and all of those good things, okay? The Saturday at 1 is the webinar that typically is on 1 o'clock on Saturday night. So if you are already registered for that, we just gave you a simple way that's not tied to a URL just yet. If you're already registered for that, you'll get your webinar notice. If you haven't, you can go to joinwebinar.com and put in this webinar ID, and that'll have you registered for that. We'll do one more run on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Again, more for existing folks to make sure that everybody's clear. And then next Monday night, when we come back to our Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, okay, which is the www.JubiRev training, same one you're on right now. So when we come back, then sounds like, Mr. President, you're going to be ready to talk to us a little bit more about these 1K again and again and again and again, 10K, 1,000 again and again and again and again, and then 10,000. And then will you get a chance to talk about some of those rank advancement bonuses as well?
Yes,
1K, 10K, 1K, 10K, 1K, 10K.
I tell you what, let's do 60-40 on Monday night's company update call. Let's do 60-40. Let's spend 60% of our time talking about our fast start bonuses so that everyone can go out and start really going to ground, building their team of promoters, building their customer base. We're going to talk about, we have a line of products, especially the coffee, that is absolutely perfect for businesses that want to be able to offer a more healthy alternative coffee to their employees. We've got some really exciting things there. If we have a couple of minutes, we may even, at the end of Monday night's call, talk a little bit more about Jubi Mindset, talk about some of the big vision that we have for that. But we'll do about 60% on the fast start bonuses, the 1K that you can earn over and over, the 10K that you can earn over and over. We're going to talk about that, and then about 40% of the call, we're going to talk about these exciting rank advancement bonuses, the infinity bonuses. And I'm going to tell you something, T. Lamont. It's hard to put a name on this because nobody's ever done it, but I'm going to tell you something. The ability to earn matching bonuses on your 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th levels is absolutely, it's really is going to be huge. It absolutely is.
Huge. That's huge.
And let me tell you something. It doesn't take a lot. And by the way, you know what we might actually do? We might spend a couple of minutes talking about the car bonus. We got some folks who are building some group qualifying volume here and are positioned very, very well to start driving around. We want to really build a culture here, folks, of people going out, building teams, getting happy customers, sampling, building their points, making money, getting paid every day, helping Joe and Susie average. Boom, get in, get started, get paid, see results, watch their points grow, creating the belief. The belief years ago I taught the most important thing in building a team, T. Lamont, is instilling belief. Belief in your customers that the products work, that the products have value, that they should continue to reorder the products month after month. It's all about instilling belief in your team that not only are they with the right company, not only are they with the right sponsorship or the right team, but that they themselves have what it takes to go out and be successful. Belief is what overcomes skepticism. It's important. And so we're going to really get in. We're going to talk about that. And you know what? We'll just save 2% on Monday night's call. 2%, T. Lamont. Write that down. We're going to save 2% of Monday. You don't have to write it down. But we're going to save 2% of Monday night's call for the infinity bonus. Maybe 1%. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the math guys say.
Okay. How much time do you want to take for a few questions here?
I got a couple minutes. Let's do a couple of questions.
Okay,
and again, folks, we're going to be up at it early tomorrow.
Okay. So quality score. Someone is asking about customers using JubiBucks. The quality score, by and large, is that going to be based on the number of bucks given divided maybe by the number of bucks used to come up with a ratio of the percentage of actual bucks that are being used?
Correct. So here's what we're doing right now, and here's how we're going to make it easier. Right now, what we're saying is if you go out and you're giving away Jubi Bucks, that there has to be a percentage of people using the Jubi Bucks to help you achieve this minimum score. Now, we've already heard on today's call, we've got Dave Kaneski, who is at 19.48%. That number is going to grow because he's got people who are starting to consume more and more. That number is going to grow. We had somebody here who was like, I got 28%. We got somebody on here who's like, I'm at 48%. Folks, we have people who are at like 90%, 98%. And we also have some people who are at 1%. 2%, 3%, or less. So they're all over the board. Here's what we're saying right now. We are going to require a minimum quality score of 10%. Simple as that. We're going to require a minimum quality score of 10% for you to earn on all of your current points. Now, if you have a quality score of less than that, we're not going to say you can't earn. We're just going to say that you can earn on the amount of points where your Jubi Bucks consumed and used and get you up to that 10%. And we're going to give you an additional 30 days to actually have an opportunity to work on getting your quality score up. That's going to be the topic of some of our calls this week. How do you get your quality score up? Well, here's what you do. We've got to make sure that people are trying the products and services. We've got to make sure that you are letting people experience the products and services. Just simply doing that is going to help us get the quality score up. It's going to get the products and services in front of more people. And here's the best part. It's going to help you get some customers. I mean, the reality of it is that if the products didn't work, if people didn't like the products and services, we wouldn't be in business. We started shipping products in what, March, April? I mean, we got people reordering. We got people increasing the order. Our number one product is the energy drink. It's absolutely fantastic. People love the taste of it. A lot of times with competitive energy drinks, they're either too carbonated, they're too sweet, they're too expensive, or they just get you so jittery, even though they say they don't. We have an incredible energy. It's our number one seller, Tilamon. Our number one seller is our energy drink. But what makes it really exciting is the affordability of the shipping, which of course we're continuing to work on. Volume creates discounts, folks. Volume creates discounts, but we're not shipping the water weight. So, and I got to tell you, it tastes absolutely fantastic. It's not too sweet. It's not bitter. Doesn't have a weird taste. Doesn't have a healthy taste, you know. It tastes absolutely fantastic. So how do you get your quality score up? Well, we got to get people using the Jubi Box. Now, the other thing that's coming up is CV. And here's the thing. CV is customer volume, okay? So how do you get customer volume? Got to get some people to sign up and buy some products, okay? So we want to make sure that you have all of the information to make sure that you've got your quality score where it needs to be, to make sure that you are prepared for your CV requirements that are in your back office. And as long as we do that, you're going to be good to go. You're going to be good to go. Okay, so it's a great question. Now, one other thing I noticed in here, just so that everybody is clear, customer volume requirements happen at the 60-day mark. That's always been in the compensation plan. Okay, it's always been in the compensation plan. So by the way, nobody is at the 60-day yet mark, so you've got plenty of time. Okay, you've got plenty of time because, well, not plenty of time, Tilamont, but you got 3 or 4 more days, right? Because you've got at least until the end of the month, and that's if you got started prior to April. But again, folks, the customer volume requirements are extremely liberal. You just need to get some customer volume going, okay? But we're going to talk about that in the calls. Go ahead, Tilamont.
Someone just mentioned that they had a customer that used 240 Jubi Bucks, and they thought that the fact that the customer used 240 Jubi Bucks met their customer volume requirement. Can we make sure that people understand that customer volume requirement, which is extremely low, but that customer volume requirement is not just the use of Jubi Bucks, it's actually above and beyond the use of Jubi Bucks?
Correct. So here's the thing. If you have, in this example, you've got somebody who used 240 Jubi Bucks, follow up with them. Get on the phone with them. Make sure that they're trying the products. Make sure that they understand how to use the products. If they have any questions, let's make sure that we get their questions answered. Find out which products that they like most. when that person has spent with their credit card, when they've spent, let's say, $30, 30 US dollars, not counting shipping, folks, on actual products, it creates 30 BV or 30 CV. Bottom line is that you got to have some customer volume, meaning they have to have spent some money. That's the goal of sampling, is to let people try your products and services. Not everybody who tries your products and services is going to reorder, okay? But if you run the numbers and you're sampling good quality products and services, you're going to get customer volume. Very simple.
Fantastic. Greg, give me just a moment. Give me just a moment. By the way, congratulations, Diane. Diane said I've got a quality score of just under 30. Good for you. Good for you. Mr. President, some folks are asking, I heard this in a webinar that I did earlier today. Right now, with customers, you can't see email addresses, phone numbers, so on and so forth. Obviously, I know, because we didn't want promoters to be overzealous in connecting with those customers and you know, trying to upsell them on the business, so on and so forth. Is there going to be any way that in time that people will be able to see customers and be able to connect with their customers to say, hey, I sent you some Jubi bucks, or I see you register for some Jubi bucks. Here's how you use them, so on and so forth?
Hey, yes. J. Joshua?
Yes.
J. Joshua, this is Dave.
Dave, how are you, sir?
I'm awesome. I'm just listening along, and I just want to let everybody know that emails and phone numbers are in the customer list right now. If they put the phone number in when they filled out the information, the phone number is there. If they didn't, of course, we don't have that. But all the emails are now in the back offices. I just looked at mine.
So, Dave, let me ask you. Let me ask you this, Dave. When we do our very first builder call, and we may actually have to maybe see if you can actually join T. Lamont and I on some of these Q&As.
Sure.
But I bet we have a lot of independent promoters, a lot of Jubi family out here on today's call that say, okay, I see the phone number. Now what do I do, right? What do I say? Can you and I role play on that a little bit in the calls?
Oh yeah, you want to do it now, or when we're doing the trainings? That's basically what the training's going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing. We may want to do that on some of the calls that happen this week, Dave, and here's why. Because this week people are saying, hey, now that I've got access to this information, now that I understand quality score, let me reach out to some people. Let's get some sampling happening. And by the way, we want to help some folks get their customer volume up too. I bet we can help them do that.
Well, I mean, it's all work. You know, I actually, my wife sat down with every one of my customers, and a lot of them we were able to locate where they were, their phone number, name, address. We already had that information on some of my customers. We were able to track it down. So some of it's, you know, just doing a little extra work, finding that information and just reaching out to those people. But now that we have their emails, and about half of mine have actual phone numbers, it's going to be even better.
Awesome, awesome. T. Lamont, how's that for an answer?
I love that. Yeah, let's talk about instant. You talked about the DLB is going to be paying out 100% to eCash. Does that happen right away, or is that going to happen with some of the other enhancements that we're talking about over the coming weeks?
That's going to happen over the next 7 to 14 days when we make that adjustment. Right now, it's going to continue as it has. The only change today is what I'm legally required to do to maintain the spirit of our current comp plan, which is to enforce quality score. So we are doing that tonight. That's the only change today, and we'll make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to acclimate to that. And right about the same time they acclimate to that, we're going to talk about the new Fast Start bonuses. We're going to talk about the new rank advancement bonuses, the infinity bonuses, the 5, 6, 7, and 8 matching, as well as several other things. And then we're going to set an actual timeline so that the DLB at that point pays in pure eCash. And I'm hoping, T. Lamont, that we can get people who are taking some of their eCash, taking a vacation. The whole goal of working is to get paid, folks. So there's no point in revenue sharing if you're not going to get paid. So I want you to get paid in eCash, and go out and enjoy the fruits of your work.
Okay. Willie, that's not true, buddy. When someone is registering, that information should be available, my friend. Willie, that information is optional for them. Mr. President, so let's say someone's giving away Jubi Bucks. They don't have a very high quality score, and right now they don't have any more Jubi Bucks to give away. Now what?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because here's the thing. One of the most important things that we do, folks, is we recognize that in today's world, people are busy. It's the bottom line. People are busy. You may have somebody, friend, family, teacher, somebody you know, a buddy from school, and you've actually worked with them. They've got some Jubi Bucks, but they just haven't pulled the trigger and selected the products that they want to start with. They probably are a little bit overwhelmed. We got a lot of products in the back office. Here's what you do now. We got to reach out to people. Dave and I are going to role play this week and kind of share with you some ways to do it. You got to reach out to them and say, hey, can I help you walk through, and let's pick some products. Let's get some of these products in your hands. Is everybody going to say yes? Nope. But again, folks, the quality score is extremely liberal. It's not that difficult to get in and make sure that people are having an opportunity to try the products and services as the system was intended to do. And it's also going to really help you get your customer volume. Very important. And again, you know, I just noticing Cynthia, listen, I know you personally. Here's the thing. I realize you would love it if you had this all along in terms of some of the contact information. I know that. I'm going to give you an extra 30 days. So whatever points that you're bringing through to be qualified now, you get to continue to earn on. That's fantastic. And you're getting an overall 30-day extension on your points. Bottom line is this, folks. We want to be here to help you achieve the goals. We're not going to leave anybody behind. We're all dedicated to help. And the reality of it is this is a great opportunity to go out and start getting some customers in that are reordering month after month. That's the goal of your business center. So go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. I think some folks are getting maybe some of you, when you're logging in, there is a message that's coming up that's telling you how many days left you have before you have your some of you may be coming close to your personal auto ship, right? So some of that you may be seeing, and it may be showing, Mr. President, if someone is coming up on their 60th day, if they haven't gotten their CV, would that be showing up now?
Yes, it would be. In fact, for some people it's going to show up right now. For some people it's going to show up sometime within the next hour or so here tonight. And again, folks, it's just some of you, Tilamont, we've got, a lot of people here on the call that joined in the last 3 weeks. And so they joined in the last 3 weeks. They're going to log in. They're going to see, hey, you have, 38, 39 days left before you must attain your CV requirements. And for most of you, the customer volume requirements are very doable, very, very doable. And so you're going to be able to actually log in and you're going to be able to see that. Okay? So again, I understand, and so Cynthia, you don't lose anything. You do need to make sure that you get your quality score up if it isn't already. Haven't looked at it. We can look at that together. We've got lots of calls coming up here. So if your quality score, Cynthia, is not where it needs to be, you're going to continue to earn at least on some of your points, assuming you have some bucks that have been consumed. And you're going to have some time to get that quality score up because I'm extending, Cynthia, the lifespan of your points an additional 30 days. So you actually could come out ahead in this. And yes, if you look in there and you see that you've only got a short period of time before you need to get some customer volume, that's why Tilamon and I are going to be able to jump in here and work with you over the next however many webinars that is. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a lot of webinars there. We're going to make sure that you have an opportunity to know where to go and what to do to make sure that you get an opportunity to get your CV. I heard you whistling.
Okay. By the way, someone just said they have an 82.47 quality score. That's
wow.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, Mr. President.
Maybe,
right, so
Tila, maybe we should get that person teaching the webinar.
Yeah. Monique, maybe you need to come on the teach.
Wait a minute. I got a better idea. There's a couple of people that are saying, hey, can I borrow some of her quality score? Okay.
Okay. Mr. President. All right, so we've got the CV requirement for some folks are coming up on 60 days. And guys, the CV requirement again is very simple for most folks that if you're under 25,000 points, if you're over 25,000 points, it's still very simple. Okay, so you got the CV requirement. Some people may be showing 3, 4, 5, 10 days to hit that CV requirement. If they haven't hit the CV requirement in 3 days, all right, then what?
Well, if you don't have your CV requirement, it's not in 3 days for everybody. I want to be clear. You have 60 days from the time that you start earning commissions. For those of you, let me preface that. If you joined after April 1, it's 60 days. If you joined prior to April 1, I hard-coded you to April 1 so that you would, because that's when we paid our first commission run, was April 1, 2013, right? So I thought that would only be fair. So some of you are at 3 days, some of you are at 30 days, and a lot of you already have your customer volume requirements, okay? But if you are looking in and if you see, hey, I've got to get my CV in 30 days, I've got to get my CV in 7 days, I've got to get my CV in 3 days, what does it mean? Here's what it means. It means that we need to help you get some customers to pull out their credit card and spend money in the JubiMax.com mall to buy some products with their credit card. Not counting shipping, folks, okay? And when we do that, they are creating customer volume, and depending on how many points you have minimum customer volume requirements in order to earn, okay?
Mr. President, I got to tell you this. Wilbert, congratulations, 80.64 quality score. Marcus, congratulations, 98.77 quality score. Cindy, congratulations, 96.93 quality score. It goes back, Mr. President, and some of us that are more builders, obviously we were focused on building, and so now I'll go back and make sure my quality score gets up because it's nothing close to Wilbert at 80.64. So I repent of my Jubi my Jubi sins there and make sure we get that quality score up. But I think this is so huge because now you've got folks that are saying, hey, not only am I just giving away Jubi bucks, but those Jubi bucks are converting into bucks being used so that I have a much better shot of those customers then coming back and reordering and reordering and reordering. Okay, fantastic, guys, fantastic. Okay. By the way, make sure, guys, and we've been saying this for quite some time, make sure you go to your back office under, hey, Dave, where's the compensation is under, give me a moment. Mr. President, can you hear me there, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you. I just didn't know what the question was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Compensation, PDF.
Yeah, go to corporate overview. So you go to home page, corporate overview, and then selection number 4 is the comp plan.
There you go. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, go to in your back office corporate overview. You'll see the PDF there, and that's the full compensation document. All right, and it's going to show you your requirements in terms of CV and so on and so forth. What your CV requirement needs to be if you have less than 25,000 points. What your CV requirement is, 25,000 points and above. Both of those are very simple, and here's the worst case. Cynthia, get your mom, get your brother, get your sister, what have you, to make at least a $30 purchase, and you got your CV. All right, so everybody should be able to go on and get that CV. Lancelot, I know you're in Jamaica. If you would make use of that email address that was posted up there, okay? And Mr. President, in terms of your CV, does it matter if that right now? Does that matter whether that comes from one customer or 20 million customers?
Currently, the way that I understand customer volume, and again, everybody's in a little bit different circumstance, so I gotta preface everything. But for a lot of people who are within a certain range on points, you have a requirement to have 30 CV, and so that there's no requirement that come from multiple customers or one. The reality of it is, folks, that here's the thing I want everybody to understand. Here's the thing I want everybody to understand. The goal of a good company is to move products and services into the marketplace. I talk about it on the calls. I said, listen, let me define a company. A company is a group of people coming together for the sole and common goal of serving the public with quality products and services to enrich and enhance their lives. And through that process, whether we do it directly or through a team that we build that then goes and takes the products and services to people, either way, at the end of the day, the goal is to move products and services into the marketplace. 30 CV is a very reasonable metric. And by the way, that's always been there. And so the reality of it is that you got to get customers. That's the goal. Got to get some customers. Okay. So we've got a plan. Susie Average can come in. They can get started. Joe Average can come in. They can get started. We've got a comp plan designed to create and instill belief in the little guy and in the little girl, to give them an opportunity, to make it simple. They go out. They give samples. They take actions. Yes, you still need to place your daily ads. You do the things that it takes to build our brand, get our products and services in the hands of consumers, follow up with them, get a couple of people to buy, get one person to buy. And now what are you doing? Now you're participating in commerce. Now you're fulfilling on the definition of a company. Simple as that.
Gotcha.
Real quick, Tilaman, I see a question. I want to answer one. It says, because I know the answer to this one. It says, where can we see CV in the back office, or where can we go see our quality score? You can actually go into your back office, go under My Account. You can go under My Account, and from underneath My Account, you can go to a page that is called, I thought I knew this one, Quality Score is the name of it. So that makes it pretty simple, Quality Score, okay? And yeah, awesome. All right, back to you, T. Lamont.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can be here. We're almost at the top of the hour. Quality Score.
Yes.
So people are asking, well, does that change daily, every other day? Does that change every 30 days?
Well, one thing I promised to say earlier, and I didn't get to it, we got off, is right now Quality Score is based on a live metric that is run daily. So every single day you're going to see your quality score. Yesterday, Dave Konecki had an 18.9% quality score, and he can earn on almost all of his points. Today, his quality score has gone up a percentage, and so he's got a little bit higher percentage of points, so now he can earn actually on all of his Jubi points. That's just the way that it works. So it is live. It's live in the sense that it runs once per day. And long term, we want to actually make it even simpler. We are going to have several things that we're working on putting out so that you can go out, take this action, get these points, and there's going to be points that you will be able to earn in the future that are not subject to quality score. Okay, so we've got quality score. We need to get everybody to use quality score. I'm going to tell you, you're going to make a lot more money if you do. If you're using quality score, you're going to get more customers. You're going to get more customer volume. If you're a leader, if you've got a team, big or small, you get them to use quality score. They're going to get more product in people's hands. They're going to sample more products. They're going to get more customers. You're going to increase your total group qualifying volume. It's going to help you with your rank advancement, folks. These are here for a reason, to help the business grow and help you grow. Very, very simple. And to make it even easier, one of the things that we may not have time next Monday night, but one of the things that I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks, T-Lamont, is I'm going to have some points that are going to actually be able to be, we're going to have some points that are going to be able to be earned that don't need quality score. Okay, we're going to have some points in the future that you can earn, won't have quality score, be even simpler. Okay, couple of things, if you just got a quick second here, a couple of things. I noticed that a couple of people have said, hey, I'm not sure that this is correct. I'm not sure that this is accurate. I have a question about this. Here's the thing, folks. let's be patient. Let's create a support ticket. Let's create a support ticket. Let's be patient. Let's understand that when you're creating a support ticket, that there's a real human on the other end who is going to be working diligently to answer a lot of questions from a large group of people. There's going to be a lot of people with questions, so do me a favor. Do your best. If you got a question, if it's urgent, you don't have to use all caps. You don't have to be concerned. Be as patient as you can. Again, I'm going to be here every day to answer questions. We're going to offer some extensions. So for those of you that do have questions, you do want to understand, you do want to know what to do, we're going to be here to help you get that information. Okay? Back to you, T. Lamont.
All right. Mr. President, we could stay here all night. You've already been here for a couple of hours. Let's just make sure that people know, again, the webinars that, you will be camping out. By the way, Mr. President, tomorrow, the 1 p.m. webinar, I may not be on there with you. My wife, obviously, many of folks are aware, was in the hospital. She's got a very important follow-up doctor's appointment. I hope to be back in place by that, but I may not. And then again, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, my middle son graduates from middle school. I hope to be back in time for that, but I may be a little bit late. So, Mr. President, if you don't hear my voice, if the team doesn't hear my voice, I'm here in spirit. If I can't be there live, I will be with you on the Thursday and the Friday webinars. Okay.
Dave, can you join me, Dave, on the 1 p.m. Eastern, Dave? I know Dave is out there. He's probably off answering questions.
I'll be there.
Okay. So, T. Lamont, here's the thing. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. So, Dave,
I'll be there at 1. That's fine.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that one. And then here's the thing, T. Lamont, don't come to the 1 o'clock. Go be with your family. And when you get back home after the graduation on Wednesday night, whenever it is, 9:30, 10 o'clock Eastern, whatever it is, pop in and say hi.
Gotcha, my friend. Fantastic, fantastic. One last question. Let's end with one last question. Ryan asked a great question. We earned 10 points if we have a customer that registers for Jubi rebates. Now, is that subject to quality score, or does that actually increase our quality score because it was based on Jubi rebates?
Yeah, and here's the thing. There are some products like the Jubi rebates where when somebody signs up to become a customer, and they fill it out, they automatically, they go through, they actually go through the process. As long as it's not an automated bot, then you get those 10 points, and those 10 points are calculated at 100% use. So if you had 100 people sign up, let's say, for Jubi rebates, that would actually give you 1,000 points consumed. That would actually help you meet the quality score requirements for up to 10,000 points. So again, folks, if you can't get with, a half dozen people or 10 people or 20 people or 3 people or whatever the case is, and help them, actually use the free shopping assistant that'll give them cash back at over 5,000 different retailers. Again, folks, we have not set this bar too high. I just want to be clear about it. The bar is not set too high. Quality score is extremely liberal. And, I know for some people, it's not making their day right now. But the vast majority of people, they understand where we're going. They know that this is what we need to do as a company. This is going to help everybody build. And bottom line is, folks, let's just get the job done. Simple. Let's work together. I'm extending points. We're going to be right here to help make sure that everybody's got the information they need to meet the quality score, which we are implementing in the spirit of a current comp plan to maintain our company's current compliance. And customer volume and these other things have always been in the comp plan. And of course, I'd be remiss not to enforce those things. So we're going to be here to make sure that everybody understands.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, still a lot of questions in queue, but we could stay here all night, and I'm sure, Mr. President, that you've done a phenomenal job over the last 2 hours. Mr. President will be camped out at the next few webinars that you see posted on there. So with that being said, Mr. President, let's give it to you for you to close out the webinar.
Awesome. See, I found a way to use all 2 hours anyway, T. Lamont. It's a good thing they don't charge me for overage minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, let me close out the webinar here with just a couple of quick thoughts. I had a vision many years ago. I had a vision to put 100,000 people into a network marketing company. And I don't tell everybody this. I don't walk down the street with a giant poster that says, "Hi, my name is Josh, and I want to put 100,000 people into a sales organization, into a direct response marketing company." I didn't walk down the street and say that. But there's a few key people in my life that I have said, "Hey, this is what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to build a team of people that are all marching to the same tune of excellence. I want to build a team of people who are excellence driven, who understand that we can enrich the lives of the people around us by sharing quality products and services." And over the years, I tried this and I tried that. One network marketing company I was with bounced 23 checks in a row to me. 23 checks in a row to me. You know, some of the companies that I was with, they would just poof and disappear. Sometimes I would be with a company and I would be asked to market these products and services, and they said, "Oh, these are great products and services," and I go market them, and people are like, "Those are not great products and services. Try again." And so I didn't quit. I didn't give up. So I found a company and they had a great product. It tasted great and I helped market it. And I had customers who tried it and they liked it and they loved it. And then here's what they said about 2 months down the road: "I'm sorry, but it's not good enough. I didn't have that in my budget. It tastes great, but it doesn't taste great enough for me to go back and rework my budget. I didn't have $100 a month for that healthy juice product in my budget." So I started to say, what do I got to do? What do I need to do? And then I began to understand, hey, wait a minute. What if instead of trying to go out and create products and services that you had to sell to people that didn't fit their budget, what if all you had to do was switch stores? What if all you had to do was actually position yourself between the customers that are spending money every day all around you and the bank so that you got paid? And that's when I came up with the idea of net zero consumables. And then as I continue to grow and I continue to learn, I began to discover that most network marketing companies don't know anything about marketing. And I said, well, here's what we got to do for marketing. By the way, the pro marketing system, just a few weeks away, folks. I'm really excited about what we're seeing happening there. Okay. And I said, here's the thing. If we're going to get 100,000 people working together, all excellence driven, all with one goal in mind: to market products and services that are truly enriching and enhancing the lives of people around them, products and services they were already purchasing in the marketplace at the price point they were being offered without the opportunity attached. So we're doing what? We're just switching stores. If we want to do that, we want to empower them with real marketing. I said, what's next? And I said, what's next is that we got to have a compensation plan that's fair. We got to have a compensation plan that allows Susie Average, Joe Average to come in and get started and have an opportunity to really go out and see some quick results. Why? So that it creates belief, so that they can say, yes, I can do this, so they get excited. And the culmination of all of that, I like it when people say, "Oh, you're an overnight success." Yeah, overnight. It's been a lifetime. It's been a lifetime. I've been at this for 19 years. My first year, I started 22 different money-making opportunities. I was 18 years old, and I wasn't smart enough to do anything right. And I got so many crazy stories from that. I don't have time tonight to tell them. But let me tell you something, folks. If you're here on tonight's call, and if you're making a stand and you say, "You know what? I want to build a successful business. I want to make sure that I'm building a business that's going to last. I want to work with people who care. I want to work with people who know how to get the job done," then you're at the right place at the right time. That's the vision here, folks. That's what we want to be able to do. The reality of it is, if you weren't working with Jubi, you'd still be an entrepreneur. You're still going to be an entrepreneur. If you're here on today's call, either you have to have a plan B, or you're an entrepreneur, or both. And that's not going to change tomorrow. It's not going to change next week. It's not going to change next month. So at the end of the day, you've got to choose a company that's going to help you be there for the long haul. You got to choose a company that's going to support you. It's going to teach you. It's going to train you. If you want to learn how to market, you want to learn how to grow, Jubi's the place to be, folks. With that said, I want to end this call, as I do many of my calls, with just a couple of quick things. Number one, gratitude. I truly believe that gratitude is what unlocks the law of attraction. I truly believe that gratitude is the missing ingredient for so many people. I live in gratitude. When life hands me lemons, I say thank you, then I make pie, not the other way around. Okay? So you got to be in gratitude. I'm in gratitude. I appreciate each and every one of you. And then I want to end with the same way I end so many webinars, by saying this, folks, that successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. The fact of the matter is that nothing good comes easy. Nothing good comes easy. And if what you truly want, if you can simply close your eyes and you can see what you truly want so much that it's as though you were writing with a big, giant marker of fire on the nighttime sky, if you can clearly see what you want, then understand that successful people simply do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. So you got some obstacles. So you got some things that you got to go do. Get it done. Because unsuccessful people are not doing it. Folks, I want to just say this. We are here for the long haul. We are here for success now, success tomorrow, success next month. We are excellence driven. And we are just getting started. You ain't seen nothing yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every one of you. I will see all of you at the top, on the inside, on the beaches of the world, and on tomorrow night's webinar. Bye for now, everyone.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.
So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please get back to the person that shared this video with you, or you can send a support ticket from your JubiRev back office. Thank you. We look forward to hearing of your success.